But you know, we talk about how unpopular the Tea Party is. They are not uh, hesitant whatsoever to run candidates for local school boards, local this, local that, um, and they're kind
Basically,
of
where the elections where there is little turnout.
yeah, and they're kind of doing that. What we saw a lot of stealth Christian right candidates do in school boards and stuff throughout the '90s and
Hmm.
early part of this century. Um,
Grassroots.
it's yeah, and I've got friends who've who've been involved like in the Occupy movement, and they kind of tisk me when I say until you guys get down to City Hall and start running candidates, putting people on zoning boards, things that are completely unsexy, but where a lot of the real power lies on on the ground in your community.
Hmm.
You guys are blowing smoke. Those, I got to give it to the Tea Party. You know, they get out and put people and put political pressure. We may disagree with them, but you know, give them their
It,
props for
oh, for sure.
taking part in the democracy. And this is why we have to take part in this democracy. And urge people to support TYT Network, support the TYT community. Send these videos. Do create videos like these on your own. Create forums. Get involved locally at the ground level in your community as well. Besides just on a cyber level.
Yeah, and I think that's such you bring up such a good point of local activism, and a lot of people don't realize how important local activism is. Like most people will sit there and think, well, I vote in the presidential election, that's good enough, right? I vote once a year. No, no, it, you really have to start getting involved at more of the local level. Because, I mean, like you had pointed out, this is how the Tea Party got to be in power. This is how the Tea Party was able to change the conversation by really getting in to those local levels and building your power base up. And that's another problem that I have with some of the third parties that think that they can just run a presidential candidate and do just fine when they have absolutely no grassroots support.
Sure.
And that's really where you have to start. If you really want to make a difference, you start at the local level and you build your way up. Any successful movement starts at the bottom.
Mhm. If you're not going to do it, if good people don't take part in it, then who's going to take part in it?
It's going to be those hardliners. It's going to be the extremists. It's going to be those
Sure.
who
And we
who
have to
who.
recognize that politics of any stripe attracts crazy people.
It's dirty.
Yeah, and there's in every political party there are crazy people
Yes.
attracted. I mean, within the ranks. I mean, I've ran into. I mean, anybody anywhere is like, oh yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of these. I mean, I have a story about oh my ex-wife's one of her relatives, and he was very well known as kind of a scallywag among the family, who ran for office, ran for office, ran for office. The guy didn't bathe, didn't pay taxes. It was like it was just amazingly like couldn't speak to any issues. But he ran so many times that he became a state of Ohio school board member over
Wow.
and won an election over a longtime guy in a large school district who was a superintendent and principal and teacher and had, done everything. So if we let these, and that's the infrastructure of all these party politics too, are the smaller, out of the way president type, you're not the president, not Congress, but what goes on in our communities. If we as progressives ignore that and don't run candidates, then yeah, we're ceding everything to the Tea Partiers because they're more than glad to throw any yahoo in
Oh yeah. Yeah.
up for election.
Anybody who shares their ideology, and
Mm-hmm.
they'll run, and sometimes they'll run almost unopposed.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
you really have to get out that grassroots effort and get out that get out there and vote every chance that you can.
Well, this government shutdown is perfect proof that
Yep.
not doing that can lead to what we just saw, a bunch of, I'll just be yahoos, um, causing a bunch of muck, and lost tons of people, plenty of money, wasted lots of money, caused, except maybe the media,
Yeah.
gave us, people some, to talk about on the 24/7 cable sphere. But other
For
than that,
sure.
they're the winners too. We forgot the media. They're the winners.
Yeah, I did do a lot of stories on the shutdown. So
Yeah, well, it's what people are talking about, and it's an important issue. You
it is.
know,
It's very
Unlike a
important.
lot of stuff that we talk about in, not us, but that is talked about. It's
Right.
just, we're coming off of Miley Cyrus and whatever kind of just fluff that means nothing to the reality of people's lives. This actually does.
And it did affect a lot of people, more than just the 800,000 furloughed employees.
Hmm.
It really did a lot of it did affect a lot of people, and that's what we were trying to do, is to educate people about what this means for you. And so I'm glad we were able to do that. However, let's get back to some of the losers on this government shutdown and finish that up. Now,